Well, we had a bit of snow last night, so uh, my my attempts yesterday to shorten or to notch the pipe wasn't too successful. I found out my eye is not too great at judging the angles. If you look on YouTube, guys has been doing it a lot, make it look easy. So I had to come up with a way to do it. So I went online and I found a tubing notcher calculator, and I'll put a link to that in the remarks. But let me get that for you. Now this is a printout I made. You have to make it at 100% to make sure it prints to scale. And this is the values I put in. This is for 1.25" well pipe. The cut tube diameter is 1.679, and I arrived at that with a micrometer, or not micrometer, the caliper. Wall thickness is 0.208. That's how thick the wall is. Parent tube is the same size, so it's 1.679. Angle is 90 degrees. That's the cut I'm trying to make. And you just take and wrap this around the pipe until they meet, and then you take a marker and you draw this fish mouth that I've got. Now I left a little thing sticking out here so I can make sure I'm square. Well, it's continuing to rain. It's 35 degrees right now, so it's kind of miserable working out here. And my paper template dissolved. Battery died on the camera too. So in the meantime, I transferred this over to some flashing material. This is the same as like you'd get tintype from a printing press, or you use it for doing flashing around the eave of a house or something like that. Picked it up for free at the dump, so came in handy today. So what I did is I just I printed out another template, taped it to here, and then just took some tin snips and very carefully cut around it. I kept the straight edge on one side, and then I cut all the rest of the sides out. And then I don't know if you can make out the marks here, but I also scribed those marks that dividing this into 4 quadrants so that I've got something to line up with. So we'll put it on here and see how it works. Well, I guess nothing likes to work in the cold. Grinder decided it doesn't want to go. Well, one thing I did to make life a little easier is I put a hose clamp on my little template. That makes it a little bit easier to hold it on there. Metal's kind of springy and it's springing the wrong direction. Well, it's after dark now. It's close to 5 p.m. here, and next last day of 2018, and I've got to figure out where to cut my rafters at on my pipe. So I ran down here to a parking lot that's not too far away, and I'm gonna lay out the pipe and figure out where my cuts are going to be. So I'm gonna use this curb here as my straight edge to put the bottom against the bottom of the pipe. And since I don't have a huge square, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the triangle rule 3, 4, 5, and that'll give me a right triangle. So I'll measure over 3 foot, up 4 foot, and then the hypotenuse of the triangle will be 5 foot. And that'll make sure that my pipe is square. And then I'll measure 16 feet over, and I'll do the same thing for the other side so that my pipe is 16 feet apart from outside edge to outside edge. So we'll get this unwieldy pipe unloaded and there. The parking lot stripe is actually 90 degrees to curb. So that makes it a little easier for laying out. Okay, now I've measured over 16 feet. I'll make my right triangle on this one, and then we'll line them up. All right, that looks pretty close there. So now I'm going to measure my to the middle in between. So it's 16 foot across. So I'm going to measure 8 foot, and I'm going to mark me a 90-degree line and see where I intersect up here. Make sure that I'm squared up. Look at there. It intersects right on. So now I've got to measure for my cut line. So we'll draw a line through the center of the pipe, draw a line the other way. That makes the intersection. So this is the center of where the 1 5/8" pipe is going to be. So I've got to take half of an 1 5/8" and measure back, and that will be where the throat is on the pipe. It's going to have a fish mouth on my pipe that's going on the ridge of the structure. So I drew a line on either side of that, drew a line in the middle, so where that intersects, that'll be my center point. So now I'm going to measure and see how long it is. Looks like 9'2" that direction, so let's see what it is the other way. 9'1.5" to the outside, 8'11.5". Oh, I'm measured from the inside, so I need to do the same on this one. So it looks like 9'1/2". So we've got a 2-inch difference here. So evidently my bend is slightly different. Okay, we'll do a little calculation and we'll come back to it.